This is in the locker room. This is before the game ended. Before the game ended. She comes out in the locker room and posted this. Like, what are we doing?
Sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, is anybody on this team gonna stand up for Caitlin Clark? JC Sheldon grabbing Caitlin Clark all game, clawing at her. It's like tonight was a brawl, folks. Tonight was a brawl, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, is anybody on this team going to stand up for? And Sophie Cunningham.
What happens when Sophie Cunningham decides to go all out and starts guarding Caitlin Clark like it's her life's mission? Total chaos on the court, the Suns' locker room in shambles, and Sophie causing drama everywhere like she's giving it away for free. Get ready, because this is some next-level spicy drama. When Sophie snapped, she didn't just fight back, she went full superhero mode against her own team. Buckle up, this is hotter than Angel Reese's Twitter right now.
And let's start with the play that set off the entire night. So as you guys can see here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because JC stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark.
The moment Sophie Cunningham stepped on the court, the whole WNBA should have gotten insurance. Sophie wasn't there just to play, she was there to handle things. And by that, we mean she personally made sure Caitlin Clark stayed safe from every cheap shot and surprise attack, like she was protecting a treasure in a street fight.
Welcome to WNBA Fight Night, or as some people are saying, WNBA Raw. What a game that was. We had it all. We had basketball, we had fighting, we had blonde on blonde crime. Oh, such an epic. Oh, goodness. But at the end of the day, it resulted in an Indiana Fever W. 88-71, taking care of business.
Forget about teammates, Sophie's acting like a Secret Service agent and part-time wrecking crew. If you try to elbow Caitlin, Sophie shows up out of nowhere like a WWE tag partner, ready to ruin your sneaker deal and your smile at the same time. You bump Caitlin after the whistle? Congrats, you've just triggered the full power of a pro enforcer with a jump shot who does not care about your feelings.
Let's start here. This is, of course, Sophie and Sheldon going down the floor. Sophie tries to wrap her up, and Sheldon gets to the floor, and all hell breaks loose. And Sophie said, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. We'll go. We'll go. So there's that. That, of course, was all a byproduct of this right here, folks. And I mean, when I tell you social media is setting the WNBA on fire right now, not in a good way, that's the understatement.
That's an understatement. Sophie's not asking questions, she's handing out decisions. The court turns into her courtroom, and the sentence is always the same: maximum pressure. This isn't just protection, it's total domination. Sophie has perfected the art of the perfectly timed shoulder check, the stare that shakes your soul, and the "try me" body language that makes even the toughest veterans think twice before coming near her.
Of course, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected because that was unwarranted. She literally came out of nowhere and chucked Caitlin Clark. There should be a flagrant one, of course, on JC Sheldon because she swiped her and hit her in the eyeball. Whether it is intentional or not, you can still have a flagrant a flagrant foul called on you, whether you are trying to intentionally hurt somebody or not. But this is what they called, you guys. This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabrey, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles. Technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it. And JC Sheldon was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul, and no players were ejected.
Sophie Cunningham doesn't wait for drama. She sees it coming like she's been reading the other team's group chat all week. If there's even a hint of trouble, she's already on the way. Full Sophie mode isn't about post-game hugs, friendly warm-ups, or high-fives at shoot-around. She's locked into one mission: touch Caitlin Clark, and you've got a problem. Sophie is the WNBA's walking alarm system, always on high alert. While other players are practicing mindfulness and team bonding, Sophie's scanning the court like she's running background checks with her eyes. One wrong move toward Clark, and you'll need a medic. The league isn't used to this kind of fierce loyalty mixed with this level of pure, unstoppable energy. She doesn't walk into games with calm playlists and positive quotes. She storms in, looking for any reason to bring the heat. Her presence alone makes sideline reporters nervous and has her teammates quietly thankful she's on their side. You can't teach this energy, it's built in. The league hasn't seen this kind of fearless protection since defenders used to play like nightclub bouncers. Sophie's taken that old-school vibe, made it even tougher, and completely shut the door on disrespect.
I feel good, and Sophie Cunningham put me out on a high note, folks. I didn't even say, Ben, calm down. Calm down, regroup. I didn't even say that. Let's get straight to the play. Everybody, the plays everybody is talking about. First off, Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. JC Sheldon all over her. Riding her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. Oh, man. Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's going to need to start wearing goggles. Bumps up on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark says, "Get your hands off me." And then here comes Marina Mabrey. Boom! Exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no flop there.
The WNBA hasn't seen this kind of bold, ride-or-die energy in years. Sophie Cunningham is like Dennis Rodman with a girl boss twist and zero patience for passive aggression. She doesn't just show up, she throws herself right into the middle of the chaos and dares it to get worse. Let's be real, Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she walked in with a target so big it could have its own zip code. Rookie of the month? Please. She was the enemy of the month, every month. And not just for individual defenders, entire teams were circling her like it was open season. Some came ready to play. Others showed up carrying petty grudges, old beefs, and leftover drama that had nothing to do with her, but they threw it at her anyway. Players lined up not to beat her game, but to break her spirit. What they didn't expect was Sophie Cunningham, watching every move like a hawk who skipped lunch and was ready to feast.
Early, about a minute and a half into recording this reaction earlier, with 1 minute left, and all hell broke loose between JC Sheldon and Sophie Cunningham, and it is very clear the Indiana Fever, some of these girls on this team are finally fed up. Finally fed up. Once again, WNBA, we're not talking about your basketball. We're talking about the WNBA WWE Raw circus that you got going on right now, and we all know this incident with Sophie stems from the incident that was clearly not handled correctly by the WNBA and the referees.